I've been thinking about it, and just it hit me the other day. Fitness was more fun in the early 2000s and the early 2010s. And maybe I don't want to say more fun, because a lot of my content is just like nostalgia and rose-tinted glasses for the past. So I don't necessarily want to say that, but I do think that there was a vibe around fitness back then. It was almost like its own aesthetic that I wanted to talk a little bit about. It has to do with the consumer aesthetic genre, the fitness genre, I guess. We'll get into it, and you'll see video games come up as well. So, if that interests you. I mean, Nintendo was doing a lot in this era. So nowadays, fitness is pretty accessible in terms of gym, and there's just endless amounts of gadgets and gizmos you could buy, apps you can use, trackers, home workout equipment. We have the Whoop bands, the Oura rings, Fitbit, Apple Watch, Samsung Watch, Pixel Watch. Like, every phone company has a watch. Everyone has a smartwatch. It's just so ubiquitous. It kind of lost its fun just a little bit. It lost its quirkiness just a little bit. Nowadays, it's very utilitarian. It's a little bit dull. But rewind back to the I would say later part of the 2000s till the early-ish, mid-ish 2010s. Roughly a 10-ish year span. A decade where fitness peaked. Where it was fun to be fit. We had titles from Nintendo, like Wii Fit, the whole yoga thing they had going on, Wii Sports and stuff from Nintendo with the balance board, and this was revolutionary. It was revolutionary, and honestly, it was really cool, and it really kind of worked. And first of all, the music and the soundtrack that they use in these games is amazing. I don't want this whole podcast episode to turn into like just glazing Wii Fit, but we could make a new episode for that, because there's so much to say about this game, and it was so amazing in so many ways, and it was really one of the things that defined this era. You'll see even in these ads that Nintendo had for these consoles, for these games, besides like the general Frutiger Arrow aesthetic, which was utilized pretty much ubiquitously during this era for every kind of game company, and honestly every company in general, Nintendo used Technozen a lot, which I guess is like this Japanese kind of specific flavor of Frutiger Arrow that was popular at that time, popular with the DS, the Wii, and then a little bit of the 3DS at the beginning of its life. And it kind of just incorporates specific colors like wood, bamboo wood, white, green. Fitness is part of the aesthetic also a little bit. I don't know if it's such a purposeful aesthetic or if it's just like Japan's flavor of them using Frutiger Arrow, and that's what it turned into. But Wii Fit and the Wii in general and the whole balance board thing just like oozes that aesthetic. It oozes Technozen. The 3DS is less so, just because there wasn't as many fitness games on that one. Also around this time, smoothie stores. It was kind of a trend that isn't such a thing anymore. There were Froyo stores, these little pop-up smoothie stores everywhere with Frutiger Arrow interiors, and I don't know, to me it seemed like it was part of the aesthetic, and you don't see them coming up so much more anymore. They're just not very popular, these smoothie stores. Now you see cookie stores everywhere. That's what's popular now. You can see the fitness trend literally in decline when nowadays the popular stores are the cookie stores. No shade. And also something else charming about this era was the start of Fitbit and the start of the Apple Watch. First of all, the Fitbit, if we're going way back. I mean, this is actually, I think, even after Wii Fit. If Wii Fit came out in like 2006 or 2008, what was it? One of those years. Then I believe the Fitbit was started just a little bit after, like 2010 or something like that. Could be even 2009 was when they came out with their first pedometer. But this boom in the Fitbits being created was, again, it felt very revolutionary, and Fitbits were such a big thing back then, and they were so cool, and they were so, it just gives like millennial fit vibes. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it gives millennial vibes in like the best way, these Fitbits, and also the colors they used. This is, I know it sounds like a minor point for me to like bring in the concept of tertiary colors and tertiary color palette into this podcast episode. It seems like such a that's like so beside the point. I disagree. I think this is like a huge part of the aesthetic, and it's part of what makes it feel so fun, because colors aren't just colors. Colors portray thought, they portray emotion, they make you feel how the marketers want you to feel. I don't know, maybe it's not that deep, but like I think it's that deep. And I think that these colors are fun, and they made the aesthetic feel fun, and they made this time period feel fun, and they made Fitbit feel fun, and Wii Fit feel fun. Wii Fit feel fun. That's say that 3 times fast. And they kind of made the aesthetic. They helped to make the aesthetic. And you guys don't even know which colors I'm talking about. I'm talking about teal, pink, like light green, this like a light orange, like a mix, like a purplish pink color. Tertiary colors. There's primary colors, there's secondary colors, there's tertiary colors. It's all about how many times you're mixing colors together to create new colors, and tertiary colors are being mixed 3 times. Go look up on Google tertiary color palette to see what I'm talking about, and instantly you'll be like, yup, I know these guys, I know this era. So yeah, it just felt very fun at the time. It felt revolutionary, and even the Apple Watch leaned into that as well. The Apple Watch became a thing in 2015, and for this episode, the fun fitness era that I'm talking about, that 10-year span, Apple Watch like really caught the end of that, and I think it kind of started a new era. But the original Apple Watch, caught the tail end, in my opinion, of this era a little bit. It was into the good sleep, the good eating, the moving a little bit every day. It had like 5 categories or 4 categories of health. One of them was breathe, and that kind of reminds me of the Wii Fit. They had a lot of stuff about that, and the colors were fun. So all of it together, all of it overlapping, it all connects. This whole era, the whole vibe of that era. I'm even gonna mention some of the like exercise clothes that were popular then. The shoes, the attire, again using these colors. It felt like being fit was like an aesthetic, like a fun gamified aesthetic. The Fitbit and Apple Watch had a lot of gamification. I mean, Wii Fit, like we've been talking about that a lot. We've been talking about that. I'm sorry. That in itself is the epitome of gamification. So yeah, this era just like screamed fun. The fit and fun era. That's like so cringy, but it was true. And yeah, it felt very revolutionary. And I don't know, I feel like just some of that is a little bit lost. Some of it nowadays is more utilitarian, more gray, more black and white, more dull, more just less exciting, less gamified. You know, back in the day with your colorful little Fitbit, you're playing Wii Fit. Maybe I'll go to the smoothie store later. This is like so unrealistic, but I'm trying to convey the vibe that I think this like fun fitness era lasted around 10 years. I don't know if it's just me, but this is like an era and a vibe that I really like, and I wanted to talk about it and see if anyone agrees with me or if I'm just crazy coming up with random aesthetics. But I thought this was cool because this podcast is a lot about consumer aesthetics, and this incorporates a lot of that into it. So I wanted to see what you guys thought. Well, that's all I wanted to talk about for today. If you want to share your thoughts on the matter, I would love to hear that. You could comment below. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. If you write a 5-star review on whichever platform you're listening on, I guarantee to read it out loud on the next show. And of course, my YouTube and other social media accounts are always linked down below if you're interested in additional content or just want to reach out. Thanks for listening.